Idiot weasel, wild party noise wakes up. I are baboon from beauty sleep. What noise? You stupid pothole could injured I are baboon. Broken. Foot! Helping me!
That sounds like my neighbor, I.R. Baboon.
Oh, you mean that man who parked his trailer on your property?
He can't help it. He's an idiot. And he needs help.
Ow! Broken foot!
Mike, call an ambulance. Baboon, I am a doctor. Does this hurt?
No.
Quick, ambulance to I Am Weasels on Mulholland Drive. Baboon down.
Does this hurt?
No. Broken foot!
The baboon says his foot is broken, yet both feet are fine. I know. I'll bet my butt he's broken his phantom foot.
Broken foot! Ah!
This is serious. You'll need a specialist. You've broken your phantom foot. You see, we're all born with phantom appendages. That's why I invented these phantom glasses. With these, you can clearly see one's phantom limbs.
Is Weasel seeing IR's broken foot?
They're, something like that. Here, see for yourself.
How come Weasel have bigger phantom foot than IR baboon? Oh, so the poor baboon has broken his phantom foot. I'm Dr. Clearbottom, Phantom Doctor. Well, let me fix you up. Better! Why do phantom foot hurting IR baboon? I'll tell you why!
Everyone now hates PlayStation. No disc, no buy. It's really that simple at the end of the day. PlayStation thought that they can make us eat the slop. Little did they know, they are the slop. And we're not gonna eat it. Oh yes. And now PlayStation is slowly starting to reap what they sow, which is one of the best spots on this channel. When a company does something, and then they have to live with their consequences, and we get to enjoy a true spectacle. We already know from Sony's last investor meet. Honestly, what they did was more like a Darth Vader announcement ceremony than an investor meetup. But nonetheless, we already know that Sony's panicking. They know that the early numbers are showing that people have not taken this nicely. And it's showing that they're gonna lose a lot more money than they probably expected. I mean, the no disc post had how many at the end? 250 million views? That's more than GTA! Sony literally did something that outperformed GTA once in their lives. And it was to their full detriment, which is beautiful, obviously. I'm happy about it. Sony, keep doing your thing. I'll be here, looking how you collapse, and having a great time while I'm at it. And I'm sure many of you also are gonna enjoy this, because Sony is completely cooked.
PlayStation has done a great job at infuriating their customers over the past few weeks, and it doesn't look like they are going to be stopping anytime soon. We know that them killing off physical media has led to major backlash. They don't really care because they want the maximum amount of profits possible, and now we know that Sony is looking to bring more ads to PlayStation, and fans won't like it. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the description in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, their customers obviously understand that they need to make money. That is why a lot of people don't complain when prices go up a little bit.
I hate the idea of, oh, it's a company, it needs to make money. They're not making money. They're trying to make all the money. There's a difference between a company that is trying to break even and slowly go up to be by doing good things, and then there's a company that just jacks up prices every half a year because they just want all of the money. There is a massive difference between those two things. And pretty much nowadays, every company does the latter. They're all just jacking up the prices because of some investor pushback, because of this, because of that. No, it's not even the investors. The CEOs of the companies who get the lion's share of the dividends, the stock options, and all of that shit, they're the ones who want this. They're the ones pushing for it because it all just directly goes at the end of the day in their bank account. If they perform a good year, guess what? The board's approving a raise the next year. That's how this works.
Or you have a game that has microtransactions that don't affect the actual gameplay and maybe they're just cosmetics, and it's why some people are okay with subscription services popping up so often because they figure, meh, it will keep costs lower for customers overall, and subscription services are
absolute dog opinions. The fact that we have so many uneducated people just advocating for the worsening of their own lives under the guise of, hey, this is actually beneficial for me, and yet they can't even figure out that, wait a minute, this has been happening for the last how many years? 10 years now at this point almost, and it has never gotten better, and that you keep delusioning yourself into thinking, oh, it's gonna get better at some point. No, stop. We need to normalize calling out these people that think that, oh, this is gonna be somehow good for the consumer. Because these are not bots. They're actually legitimate people. Now, granted, do they deserve the same rights as you or I? No, of course not. They're mouth breathers. But, sadly, the law doesn't work that way yet. Boys, we are gonna change it at some point.
Optional, but they just continue to push the limits, and people are ready to snap. People are freaking out over all of the terrible moves that they have been making, and they just do not care that they are forcing people away from their ecosystem, and that they are forcing people really to not buy their experiences anymore. We already know that the next generation of consoles are going to be extremely expensive. I wouldn't be surprised if these
By the way, there's nothing here, it's just a giant gray square. Is it a little bit awkward that it's, I mean, it perfectly kind of fits?
Standard AAA game prices go up. We know that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be $80 standard. I think a lot of other companies are really going to push
$100 standard because the full game costs $100. Okay, let's not dilute ourselves.
This, and we aren't even taking into consideration now that we have to deal with a lot of surveillance. At the end of the year or the beginning of next year, it is being reported that they are going to start forcing identification measures onto people. You are going to have to add your credit card into their system or take a picture of your face or your ID. You're going to have to prove who you are, prove that you are an adult. They use the excuse that it is to protect the children and to protect users, but we all know that it is about power and control and monitoring people, and all of these different factors are going to push people away. So it says Sony may be looking at ways to incorporate ads from non-endemic brands into its console as the company increasingly looks for ways to maximize profits. So Digiday spotted a series of new job listings posted last month by the platform holder, which imply it's looking to explore new advertising opportunities across the PlayStation ecosystem, and you cannot trust them to add in advertisements in a way that does not feel intrusive. You cannot expect them to actually add these advertisements onto the home screens and the dashboards and even in experiences that are acceptable. You just have.
I can't wait until the first major company does this in a massive scale, in a way that really actually disrupts things and is really annoying. And I can't wait to see the backlash, the instantaneous fucking regret that's gonna happen just milliseconds after they launch it. It's gonna be dead, and it's gonna be instantly. People are not gonna even leave mean comments. They're just gonna instantaneously unsubscribe or close their accounts when that shit happens. It's gonna be great.
to assume at this point that they are going to push as many ads as possible, as quickly as possible, to make as much money as possible. They have done nothing to deserve our blind faith or blind support, so at this point we just have to assume they are going to do everything in the worst way possible because they most likely are going to. It says, though, one role based at its headquarters in San Mateo specifically seeks a director of client partnerships, which would be responsible for partnering with major brands and selling emerging ad opportunities. And this could mean a broad range of strategies. It could be PlayStation Plus partnerships, could be PlayStation Store placements, or even collaborations on content. We do not know the extent, but either way, it is crucial information to the job listing that it specifically mentions non-endemic brands, meaning the scope here extends beyond promoting upcoming games like Grand Theft Auto 6 or Modern Warfare 4, and is instead looking at non-gaming products like Coca-Cola or McDonald's, which we know there are a lot of companies that have tried a lot of different strategies with ad placements over the years, and most of them have failed. They have been widely rejected by gamers, which isn't particularly shocking. Nobody...
True, but they are minor currently. You need to understand that. They are minor. But what they have done so far has not been truly intrusive. And now at this point, we are living in the age of intrusion. Okay? With everything that GTA 6 is doing, with what every other company is honestly doing, we're just kind of just sitting back and waiting until someone decides, wait a minute, this is a great idea. And all of these things that inhibit the free movement of the marketplace are gonna just end up poorly, because they can't control us. If you put in something that people don't want to deal with, believe it or not, people are just not gonna deal with it. It's not complicated. If Xbox or PlayStation decides to do something that annoys people, people are just going to stop using it. That's how simple this is going to go. And considering, well, PlayStation and Xbox have had nothing to offer for gamers for decades at this point, honestly, when people leave, they're not returning. That's the best part about all of this. When people leave, they won't return.
Wants intrusive ad placements in a full-priced game when I'm paying $70 for something, and standard price is probably going to go up to $80 soon, let's be honest. I do not want to see constant advertisements. I don't mind if we are in a Spider-Man game, if in Peter's apartment you have a bottle of Coca-Cola, or in a sports game you might have like a jersey or a logo or a banner that says a certain brand, like a Ferrari ad, for example, but we know that companies are never actually going to prioritize our wants and needs. They are going to prioritize what is going to make them money, which I don't necessarily blame them, but I do still blame them partially for not actually listening to us. Over the years, we have seen many terrible situations when it comes to advertisements, and you have Ubisoft blaming technical errors for showing up.
Yeah, this happened, 3 years ago, 2023, yeah. It was a while. And they unironically blame technical errors. And it's funny because everyone, obviously this is not a technical error. How the fuck do you technically errorly place an ad in a game in a specific location? It's bullshit. And they themselves removed this after a day. Because what happened? People just quit the game instantaneously. They saw that people just instantaneously, they saw a massive player dip. The moment they launched this, they saw a massive player dip. And the thing is, you cannot fix this. There's always going to be the massive player dip. When some kind of stupid intrusive ads happen, people are just going to look for a platform that doesn't have the ads. And at some point, if all of the platforms have ads, well, congratulations, someone's going to make a new platform that doesn't have this. It's going to be that simple. And then congratulations, you no longer have to share the marketplace with 2 rival companies, now it's 3. 50% more competition, isn't that a great thing? The reality is, as long as we have rights, as long as we have the ability to choose, none of this will ever work. They're gonna damage themselves, and they're gonna regret all of this. But that is as long as we just have our rights, and the ability to move and, you know, do other things and have alternatives. The moment we don't, this is gonna break, and they're gonna do it.
Pop-up ads in Assassin's Creed. They said that it was a technical error, but that still means that they had it programmed that way, and there were still plans for them to potentially do this, seeing as it was programmed that way. But Ubisoft blamed a technical error for a full-screen pop-up ad that appeared in Odyssey. Reddit users said that they spotted the ad on Xbox and PlayStation versions of the game, with an ad appearing just when you navigate to the map screen. So when you were opening the freaking map, it was giving you an ad saying, go buy this other game, guys. You will love it. This is definitely the experience that you want. 2K has been under fire several times for adding unskippable in-game ads to their full-price NBA titles. This one...
Yeah, but this is sports ball. Whatever happens to the sports ball people, no one actually gives a shit. They're not real gamers. They're not. It is what it is. You know I'm speaking the truth. They will not even fight with us on the same principles. They will not fight on the same things. It's very rare that the sports fan actually has any other game than a sports game. They don't even know this conversation is happening. Whatever happens to them is completely isolated from what happens to us.
Specifically refers to 2K21 a month after release, and this is also another issue, is when are these ads going to be implemented? They could be a month or 2 or 3 after launch, so they get the bulk of the sales up front. They figure, okay, so now that people have passed the refund period, they cannot really complain or get their money back, we are going to start interrupting their gameplay experiences. It's just such a slap in the face to customers, and customers are not taking this well. The PlayStation 5 is my last PlayStation console. F Sony, my PC shits on it anyway. Sony charging $500 for a PlayStation 5, $80 a year for online multiplayer, $70 per game, and now assembling a global advertising team.
70? 80? What do you mean 70? It's 80. It's 90 now. Come on. Get with the times.
To monetize your home dashboard screen with targeted ads. Tremendous value proposition. You aren't buying a luxury gaming console anymore. You're buying a $500 billboard that happens to play video games, and I agree 100%. Greed has no limits. This is a real patent held by Sony. They have so many terrible patents that I've talked about over the years, and yeah, it's only going to continue to get worse. Sony is doing everything it can to be a dumpster fire right now. Impressive. Might as well say Sony preparing to lose more than just their PlayStation customers. It is amazing how bad Sony is now compared to the PS1/PS2 era, and there are a lot of companies that have fallen very far, very fast, and it is always disappointing to see, but yeah, Sony has been censoring games for years, monetizing games poorly for years, hiring activists for years, and now they're just looking to push everything to the extreme and to the max. Also, Sony and BMW. BMW is showing commercials on their cars' dashboard screens, and they want you to think it is a treat. Yeah, they will always try to convince you that this is actually a good thing, and this is positive, and you just don't see the benefits of it.
Yep, I mean, that's typical liberal tactics, and they never work. I wonder why. I wonder why. Anyway, that was Veridot, 10 out of 10, mommy. Have a nice day. Bye.
Hi, I'm Luther. Today, I'm going to play Cleave Warlock all the way from level 1 to Hellbell. Let's see how this build holds up. Warlock. Okay, hardcore. I think he looks like a Doctor Strange. Wow, look at this gem and materials. Maybe this is statue for the Uber Sweet engines, right? And this one is upgrade the Terror Zone and stackable runes. Many other streamers and YouTubers use the Apocalypse or the Abyss or the Demon, but I want to use this Cleave because nobody do this one. I heard that this Echoing Strike is OP. Let's use this Hexbane. Minus enemy attack rating and defense. And also it has magic damage. Oh. It's like a buff, like enchant. And this mark is on above the monsters. The levitation, mastery, damage, attack rating, critical strike chance. And this weapon requirements minus is really crazy. When I max out, I can use two-handed weapon with the low requirements of stats. Wow, he can use two-handed weapon and shield at once because he doesn't take weapon, but he levitating the weapon with his mind control. And let's summon one Goatman. Goatman. Wow. Purple Goatman. Let's go. Let's go, Goat. Now I can use the Cleave. Let's go. Shoom. 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 Wow. The bodish and put 2 ruby. Shoom. Wow, it's too slow. Gosh. Oh my gosh. Is this right? Oh, or the book. 3 demonic mastery. Demonic mastery, this one. And also fire damage. I was surprised because of this attack speed is really slow. It takes 1 hour to hit one time. I heard the sigil is like curse, Diablo 4 curse. Yeah, this field like a Decrepify, but 6 level skill. That's crazy. Necro is a suck. Oh, goat versus goat. I will help you. On there. Okay. Hoi. Tal and F. Hex Purge now. Oh. Wow, its weapon color is changed. The effect and effects change too. Explosion damage. Spear. 4 to 17. Let's check the attack speed. Oh. Okay. It's too slow. L add id. Okay, add. O L add. Now I need id rune for the malice. Wow. Wow. That's cool. Yeah, slow. Oh, did you see the goats crushing blow? Wow. What? Wash. Only one rare X? 이런 씨. And ethereal? 에라이. Blessed aim is better. Nirai. Full helm. Oh, did you see the effect because of this chronicle? Eisenhart. And you can see the Eisenhart's horn dropped by Burning Dead, and the date and time is the record. You can easily get the Holy Grail using the sigil, decreepify, and the cleave. And side 3 socket, okay. And tell side for 226 poison damage. I make stealth in breastplate. Wow. Whoa. Look at this damage. Shoom. 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 Now I can use Blood Warp. It's kind of teleport skill, like this. Shoom. Unlike teleport, it has limitation on use, such as being unable to pass through walls or move up steep hills. Wow, I can teleport the hill. What, did you see? I can't teleport to upper side of the hill, but I can teleport to the downside. Okay, shoom. Oh, this, I can teleport this way. Maybe this is not too high for using Blood Wolf. Top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. I want top right. Blood Wolf is really nice in Arcane Sanctuary, so I can passing easily. Oh yes, top right was the answer. Using sigil. This sigil is really nice. Slow his attack speed and speed, his movement speed too. Okay, ring amulet boots. Ring amulet boots. And charm. Lightning poison. And mastery. Amulet for lightning rest. Wow! 26 lightning rest. Now I want to use this bind demon when I get level 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 skill points to get this bind demon. My fire rest is terrible now. Okay, well. Oh! I can teleport the wood, but not this way. Here to there. What's the difference? Same tree here and here. Look like shield for Runot? Yes. You can make Ancient Bleach and Rhyme. Actually, you can't make Ancient Bleach because it's 2 socket max. Kitty beans. Okay. Let's check the kitty bean quest. Hoit. Yeah, lightning, one more. One more lightning less. Then I can almost gold. Codex. 3 summon tamed. Let's check the tamed. Ah. Oh, he has the fire aura, and he increased my fire resistance. Yeah, he has the resist fire 34. It's really nice, I think. Yeah, I use Tao. Triple Tao. Wow. Whoa. Yeah, this color is new in Diablo 2. Can I pass this way? Wow. This distance is really far. I have 75 fire resist. Oh, amplify? Sorry. Whoa. Shoot. Let's go! Ah, one more boots. Fire, poison, broad axe. What about the defiler? Summon defiler that binds enemy souls together to take shared damage. Damage shared between bound target. It bound 2 targets. Is your go! Height. Erai. Breastplate. Eisenheart. He has the Eisenheart. Defense and all resistance. And Emrune will drop. Hoi. Let me guess. This one. Ah. Hi. Ha. Okay. Oh, well. 5 strengths. I want to upgrade my RAM because I'm only 32 RAM. But you know, the RAM price is crazy. Oh. 안돼. I need him. My damage is not enough. Wow, thanks to my 75 lightning and fire resistance. Oh. Too slow. Okay. Oh, Mao. Mao is not bad. And Hellbud. 13 to 53. What's this? Eldritch Blast. Is this also skill? It's something like a buff. Life steal, mana steal, and some damage in it. But I have to use all the skills like assessing. I'm so busy. What's wrong with you? Hello? Are you freezed? Hoi! Ah, shit. 2 miasma chain. You haven't played update yet, so vendors sell books. No, you can't buy books from vendors like Necromancer Head or Paladin Shield, something else. Yeah, also find books in real life. Yeah, I just wonder if I binding the Listal Tormentor, then quest is clear or not. Oh shit. Oh I forgot my purple juice. This is slow and whirlwind is really strong. Okay, nice position. Tanking the Titanic. Phew. Oh, Partisan? Poor socket? Ah, 2 socket. Okay, level up. Now, bind demon and mirrored blade. I really want to check this one. Oh, it looks like a Jill. Oh, I tamed it. Oh, council. I tamed the council, and let's check. He has demon, cold enchanted, and stone skin. Wow, he used the Hydra. Bind the demon is like a iron golem, so it doesn't disappear when I change the game. Barutuk, come on. Oh, it's only 11%, so it's really hard. Oh, I tamed him. I tamed the Ventar the Unholy. And then I pass this Bar's quest when I taming him. Oh. Oh, I taming Tormentor. Oh. Okay. Oh. He's really strong. I just watching. Oh. He didn't kill his friend. This dinosaur didn't eat his friend. Yeah, Bals can move because of the sigil. 1, 2, 3 sigil. 1, 2, 3 sigil. Attack rating. Alright. Wow, 137. Yeah, the strongest minion in normal, except the boss. Bishbosh, where? Okay, Bishbosh. Oh, I tamed him. And maybe he revived the Pollen. Oh, Flamberos. Ethereal. 오, 잠깐. 이걸 키면은 Let's try this. Wow. Yeah, Sword is better than Side, I think. It's much cooler. This battle side. This one is Lajuk Force Cat, right? Why the Bishbosh didn't revive the Pollen? What about just the Fallen Shaman when I tamed him? Okay, I tamed Fallen Shaman. Please revive. Oh, he revived the Pollen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minions. Yeah, Bishbosh doesn't revive the Pollens, but Fallen Shaman revived his baby. Oh, 아니다. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 baby and 1 Fallen Shaman. Is that only me can hear this kung kung sound? Ah, this sound? Ah, this aura sound. Okay, he has cursed. Lightning enchant and cursed. Okay, really nice. I don't have to get amplify curse weapon. Oh, oh, tree head. It's right here. Look at this amplify. Sprint man. Corrupt me. Yeah, 30 lightning rest. But I have 26 one. And the fire. Stone skin? It doesn't matter. I have amplify. The only disadvantage with Rakanishu is amplify curse is a little bit annoying. No, Raka! Oh, please. Be careful. Emrun. Mdirta. MT. Yeah, he can't use. Maybe 2 level more. 2 or 3. Oh, wait, Fanaticism? What do you think about Fanaticism versus Amplify? Which one is better? Its Rakan issue amplify is 30% and Gottman fanaticism is 70. Let's change. Okay, fanaticism, Gottman. I changed my Pokemon. I think amplify is better. Okay, it's not your fault. It's okay. Fanaticism or Amplify Smith is waiting for me. Broadsword. First, okay, Broadsword. Okay, I can use this for the swap and using skills, making the spirit. Oh, Shiren first. Sword, Rune. Okay. Hike. Tooth, okay. I really hope he has. Oh, he has Holy Fire. What about the Might Aura? Might Aura Smith is nice or bad, and he will more tanky than the Goatman. Okay, let's go. I change to the Smith. Wow, look at the crushing blow. 안돼! Smith! Phew! Yeah, Smith's tanking is really nice. 가자! Oh yeah, Bassinet! It's really nice. Sajabi! Ah, 15-15 is the lowest. Force Cat. Laltirtal. 265 enhanced damage. Wow, shit. 206 and 2 critical strike. Ah, shit. My damage is almost double. No, it's not ethereal because Cleave used the durability, so I can't use the ethereal one. I think shift and click is the best for this build. Just stand still and use the Cleave. Oh, Ejure, we can't bind the Ejure. Is he the angel or human? Oh shit. Okay. Rhyme. I have one Shiren, but I wanna find more good skills in it. But just for safety, let's make the rhyme. Just here. It has 25% all resistance and cannot be frozen. And also block. Put Durlun in the helmet for cold resistance. Bind the demon is like an iron golem. It doesn't disappear. Let's make the spirit. Yeah, it has 2 skill in it and 1 skill here. And 3 Eldritch Blast. It means 4 and 2 plus 6 Eldritch Blast skill in here. Why aren't you using Echoing Strike? Yeah, it's incredible OP, so I don't use that. Because everybody using the Echoing Strike now, so I want to show you more new visual about the Warlock. Oh, Mercenary has 25% crushing blow. You go rush leather hardcore too? Oh, hardcore? Welcome. I will waiting in the hardcore. Please come in the hardcore. 30% faster run walk, but this one is better. And side one breathe. But I want the potion stackable in the inventory too, not only the stash, but they didn't do that. You're still waiting for a separate charm inventory? Ah, yeah. Like Project Diablo 2, you mean? Charm stash here. It will be nice to find the treasury when I found the lemon for attack speed. Millie Warlock, you wanna play? It's really fun, but don't try this at home. Just watching. Oh, fanaticism. Soul killers. Wait. Oh, wait a sec, wait a sec. Oh, ah, shit. Get it, bang. Hoit. Oh, faster cast rate. And sigil. Battle Maid Sarina is also demon. But I think she has no aura. Demon Hide Sash. 27 life and fire res. Oh, this one is nice. Oh, fanaticism. Okay. I found it. I found him. Come on, come on. He has extra strong and fire enchant. Yeah, he is fanaticism. Okay. Now I have fanaticism aura. I will show you what he has. Gala Flame Finger. He has extra strong and fire enchant and aura enchant. It means fanaticism. Huge upgrade demon. Almost clear. Oh he died again. Ah, shit. Shot battle though. Storm's try. Oh, ancient. Ah, 놀래라. Oh, 씨. I thought it was sacred armor. But it's nightmare. Oh. Ethereal? Is there a ethereal Holy Grail here? Or just... there is no ethereal Holy Grail, I think. It has huge defense. Okay. Though undead, though demon, Isur is just Isur. When I keep the end setting with this cleave, I think it is not that bad. He has blessed aim. Oh shit. I will show you if he dropped the hammer. Yeah, look at... Did you see? When I binding him, he dropped his hammer and cast is clear. Coal and Lem. Coal and Lem. Okay! Lemon time! But I don't have Shiren, so I have to find the Shire first. Maybe I can bind her. Because it's a 17%. But I tried almost 40 or 50. But it doesn't work. But I think revived shaman doesn't revive the fallen. Just only binded shaman revive the fallen. Yeah. Oh, aura enchant. I tamed him. Now I have conviction. Oh, well, Shiren dropped. The fallen dropped the Shy. Shadow Lamb Treasury. It has 45% increased attack speed. And Venom. And also Fade. Oh, well. Ah, shh. 6 dexterity. But I have 4 dexterity here. Okay. Oh, wait. Fanaticism. And this one has cursed. Fire and 13 strengths. 13 strengths. This one is better. Wait. He has... but it's not a demon. Oh, shit. Oh, Brim Shield. Literally Sword. Plus 1 skill. But I have 1 skill here. Wow, damage is crazy. There is Amplify. You have to cast Amplify, my friend. Okay, Amplify. Extra strong. Oh, Shenki is mine. Shakatus is also demon. Okay, I changed to Shakatus. He has extra fast, fire enchant extra strong. Wash, only 1? Don't call it lucky grand charm, unlucky grand charm. Plus 1. Okay. 호잇! 아니 이런 쓰레기를. extra fast cursed. Okay. He has extra fast cursed, extra strong magic resistant. 간다. Let's go. 호잇 호잇 호잇. 와, all fire enchant. 간다. 오! 와, shit. If I don't have this treasury, maybe I was died. I forgot to check the fire enchanted. Oh my god. Cold enchant is okay, but just far away. Just in case. Okay. Oh, I can kill Stygian far away. Oh, he has cursed. Wait. Okay, I tamed her. I tamed her? Yeah, he has special hit, cursed, and extra strong. And one more thing, I don't have to kill Lisa the Tormentor. Nice. You know, I used the sigil, so Belle can't move. All rare. Warm hide boots. Naga. 77 less damage. Chain gloves. 7 lightning less. Okay. Oh, unique ring. 와, 제발. Raven Frost. 제발. Raven. 아이. 에이. Only 2 rare. $24 magic find. Okay. Magic up. Well, dexterity. I need more dexterity. Oh, Martel? To fair? And battle that. Wait, Martel de Fer. It's a Gavel of Pain. But it needs 146 strengths. If I max out Levitation Mastery, it will be about 110 strengths, maybe. Heavy boots. Yeah, 31 fire res. Okay. But it's 31. Resurrection is almost 4 years. Oh, 잠깐. Wait a sec. Yeah, this is crazy ring for melee. 116 attack rating. And also all resistance 122. Okay, let's use. It almost double damage when I change to Gavel of Pain. Wow, look at this. Hammer is above. Wow, but it's too slow. But damage is crazy. Wow. Yeah, damage is really nice. I just wonder that Nightmare Lister and Hell Act 1 any super unique. Which one is stronger? For example, Hell Rakanishu or Hell Beach Boys or something. Lister is better. Zombie is very strong. Wow, look at the damage. Is this Hell? Yeah, this is Hell difficulty. Not a Nightmare. Hell Zombie has 30k HP. Nightmare Lister has... Oh, really? Then I have to change to Rakanishu or something. Oh! Okay, let's taming the Rakanishu. He has... he doesn't have aura. Oh, but he has cursed. Ah, shit. He died. Oh, unique amulet. Wow, please. High load is the best for this build. Ah, please. High load. But it has 50 fire resistance. Oh, holy freeze. Okay, I tamed the holy freeze first. Okay. But he has no cursed, just conviction. Oh, so I'm scared. Oh. It's a cold enchant. Smith doesn't have many affixes. Rakanishu has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5, but the Smith only has 3. I will. Wait. Okay. Holy freeze is okay. Oh wait, fanaticism, demon. 가자. Okay. He has extra fast, aura enchant, lightning enchant, extra strong, immense lightning. Let's go. Wow. Amplify curse. Oh. Yeah. Ah, too rare. Two socket. Great X. Full suffix. Oh, he immune to physical again. But I have a magic damage, and you can't bind it undead, just only demon. One to text. 2 Innes Entropy. Control Shift left click. Right click is 3. Yeah, like this. You can make perfect ruby. Hoi. Only 5%. Okay, just one more. Height. Hoi. 10% this time, but there is no increased attack speed. It's immune to physical, but I have the magic explosive damage, so it doesn't matter. Okay. They have to make some button here, and when they click the button, just change to the full rejuvenate potions, like PD2. Compendium. That's the Warlock's book. Oh, oh shit, it's dead. Sound Chaos Debug. Sound Chaos Debug. Oh my god. Please stop! Stop! It never ends? Oh shit. Oh! Ah! Diablo 2 Resurrection is closed. Okay. I have a 10% Crushing Blow, 3 TP and 2 uniques, 4 rare, 1 set. No unique. Oh, 3 rare and 1 cask. 50%. Oh, yeah. And it also has increased attack speed, 200. I think this is the max roll. Okay. Wow, mercenaries are dead. Let's go, Giddy. Hey. Oh, cold and fire. Okay. It's a nice ring, but I have to use this one. Wow. Look at his damage. Demon Hide Glove set? Oh, is there a Demon Hide Glove set? This is this new set item, Horizon Hold. 10% Crushing Blow, and also 33 life, fire damage. I can change the new one, but she has no aura. Rocabo X. Okay, come on. Hello? Excuse me? Are you there? I think there is no fanatic friend. Oh! Oh! Whoa! Whoa! I saw the 200 life left. Okay, I just kill the console and find the Hephaestus one. He has cold enchant. Okay. Yeah. Maps. Okay. Oh, Pace Blade. There is 2 Pace Blade, maybe. Yeah, right. Lightsaber. It has ignore target defense. Oh shit. You okay? And damage, magic damage, lightning damage. Okay, it's worse here. Chicana. Wow. It's too fast. I'm too strong now. Oh shit. Okay, change to lightsaber. Wow. I think the attack it's really fast, so it fits well with this build. Yeah, attack speed is important with this cleave build. Here's the conviction. Oh. Okay, Solon and Hellforge. I guess Eastern. Let's go east. Hey. Ah, Lumlun. Lumlun. MF. Lum. He gets 75%. Do you have a might? Yeah, he has might aura. Immune to physical. Cursed. Oh. Let's change this new one. Okay. I tame him. Yeah, let's check. And also immune to physical and stone skin, so maybe he will not die. His tanking is crazy. Immune to physical and stone skin. Wow, this curse is really good. Oh, let's see tanking the Lord Size and his friend. Can he tanking? Wow. You guys maybe know, if you are Diablo players, this tanking is crazy. I might be die when I get closer. I think this build is really fit well with the grief. Wow. 와 진짜. Yeah. Oh, sorry for the loud sound. This is crazy. Lightning, 30 lightning, and poison. Faster run walk. Oh. Oh sh. 100%. Yeah. Oh, Dusk Shroud. Lightning. Lightning almost lob. Is the lightsaber better than hammer you had before? Yeah, because it's ignore target defense and attack speed is really fast. Nerf it? But you saw the other builds are more OP. Yeah, if I get fully equipped, it's really strong. Tanking, please. And then dealing. Yeah. What a nice combination. The most important thing is attack speed. Yeah. Oh, Dimensional Blade this time. Pace Blade and Dimensional Blade. Shy Lightsaber. But I don't have a Shiren in the stash. Oh, wait a sec. 3 Durlun. 3 Chip Topaz. And Emran is Amethyst, right? And Solon is Sapphire. Okay. And Lajuk, Lightsaber. And then Shiren, 40 and 45 here, 10% here. But there is no Warlock. They don't have Warlock. Oh, Sharon drop. It always drop when I make the rune what I want. T2 Classic. Stone Skin. La la la. La la la. Too easy. Too easy. Yeah. Too easy with Hephaestus. Wow. Immune to fire. No. Immune to fire and fire enchant. Okay. You know this Death Load is really strong when you met in hell difficulty when you play from level 1 to hell. But he is tanking. But important thing is it's just one skill and one mastery, one blood oath. That's all. Blizzard must nerf despite the demon. His tanking is nonsense. Maybe he is undead. Stygian Doll is maybe undead. Wow. Wow. You must know that I'm not fully geared. Yeah. Okay, let's check the Hephaestus tanking. Right? Lister Tormentor. But he can tanking. Whoosh. Yeah, he's really strong. Wow. Yeah, I use Mirrored Blade. It's 100%. Yeah, this Mirrored Blade has no attack rating here. Let's go! Okay! Oh, Elder Staff. Naz Puzzler. GG! Woohoo! Yeah, hobbies and study ladder. Wow, we finished with cleave build, and I will show you my gear. Lightsaber Mephisto dropped this Pace Blade, so it has ignore target defense, and this cleave build increase attack speed is really important. So I put Chiron. And the Steel Skull, it also has IAS and Dual Leech, and Nokozan for fire resist. And Treasury also has increased attack speed and Fade for safety, and Rhyme for cannot be frozen and all resistant. And this Horizon set gloves has 10% crushing blow, and dexterity and life, and rare ring. This ring is godly for the melee build, and Demonite sash, and light blade boots, and charms. And I use this cleave. It's almost 365 degrees. It's 360 degree now, and use Hex Purge. Nice combination because it's a synergy skill of Cleave. It also magic explosion damage on it, and Eldritch Blast has dual leech, and I put many points into Levitation Mastery and Goldly skill. I think Despite the Demon is the best skill in Warlock. There are many other OP skills, Apocalypse or other Chain, Abyss, and the Echoing Strike, but I think the Bind Demon is the best skill. And I use the swap Spirit and one skill Warlock. Hephaestus is MVP. Yeah, he has Might, Aura, and Cursed. And Stone Skin immune to physical is crazy. I cleared the hell using Cleave, a skill that's often overshadowed by other OP skills. But even so, it felt way more powerful than most other melee classes. Warlock is just straight up broken. Next time, I'm going to try a bow Warlock. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.
Good evening.
Greetings.
Ah, what the hell?
Yes?
As somebody who has been covering Ariana's work for years, the way that she looks and presents in that video, at least to me, was shocking.
I just wanted to address your concerns about my body. There are many different kinds of beautiful. There are many different ways to look healthy and beautiful.
I heard that my fans were worried that negativity was ruining things for me, but I just have to say that could not be more the opposite.
Since my last video, the Ariana Grande files just dropped because Ariana Grande's own family, who are infinitely closer to her than her fans, just came out and admitted that they've been worried about Ariana Grande's health for a long time now, and they've been begging her for months to take a break in order to focus on her mental and physical health. That's right, huge pop star Ariana Grande's got the whole world worried about her ever since she released her new album, Petal, along with a music video that was meant to promote said album, a music video that featured Ariana's drastic and frankly worrying transformation, which was honestly nearly impossible for people to ignore. In fact, even professional music critiques such as Anthony Fentanyl, who has been covering Ariana Grande's career for years now, were absolutely shell-shocked after seeing Ariana's new look in her new Petal music video.
But as somebody who has been covering Ariana's work for years and has seen her career grow and change and evolve for over a decade now, the way that she looks and presents in that video, at least to me, was shocking.
Now, to be fair, it's not like this concern for Ariana Grande's health appeared recently or appeared out of nowhere. This is something that's been going on for years. Even back in 2023, when Ariana was working on the movie Wicked, well, even back then, her own fans were pressing her about her apparent and worrying weight loss, which prompted her to issue a response video on TikTok where she urged her fans to stop commenting on her looks, where she also reassured her fans by telling them that her body is the healthiest it's ever been, and that healthy can look different.
I just wanted to address your concerns about my body. There are many different kinds of beautiful. There are many different ways to look healthy and beautiful. The body that you've been comparing my current body to was the unhealthiest version of my body. I was on a lot of antidepressants and drinking on them and eating poorly.
Now, to no one's surprise, you've got a lot of people going back to that TikTok response video of hers that dates back from 2023 and leaving comments such as, "Oh, she went from eating poorly to eating nothing." And I personally don't think that those kind of comments are helping at all. But that's the conundrum and a truly asked problem that seems to surround the Ariana Grande situation. I mean, on one side, you've got tens of millions of her fans who are genuinely worried about her health, but who might not have the proper vocabulary or the social IQ to approach the situation in the right way. So they're out there spamming her comment section with things like, "Someone give my man a sandwich or something." And if you're one of those people who leave those kind of comments thinking that you're helping, thinking that, you know, telling someone with an ED to just eat more is helping, well, you might as well go to a homeless person and tell them to just buy a house. Smash like and subscribe if you agree. But on the other side of the spectrum, you've got millions of people who are coping and who are genuinely trying to convince not only other people, but also themselves that there is nothing wrong about Ariana Grande, or saying that she's been doing better than ever, when in reality she's been doing worse over time, and who try to silence and bully anyone who expresses any amount of concern for her. Now, I'm obviously of the opinion that this kind of situation should 100% be talked about. Now, preferably in a way that is sensible and beneficial to not necessarily only Ariana, but to anyone who might suffer from a mental condition that is related to Minecraft food. Namely, people suffering from an ED. But I truly believe that back in 2023, when Ariana made that TikTok response video, the best course of action back then was to believe her. Because back then, you could easily come to the rational conclusion that nobody knows Ariana more than Ariana herself, her close friends, and of course, her own family. And definitely not random parasocial fans. In fact, I'm inclined to believe that Ariana was 100% speaking the objective truth when she was out there saying that this is the healthiest she's ever felt, this is the healthiest her body has ever been, especially when compared to her old Positions era years, where she claims to have been on all kinds of sus medications back then, even though her fans kept telling her to revert back to her Positions days body type.
The body that you've been comparing my current body to was the unhealthiest version of my body.
But here's the thing, guys. Even though it's true that most people don't truly know what's going on with someone that they don't know, it's also true to realize that most people aren't blind. And there comes a point when you can't just keep expecting people to take your word for it when you're out there saying that this is the healthiest you've ever been. Especially when things have been getting worse over the years, as opposed to better. I mean, just a year ago, Ariana shocked the world when she pulled up to the 2025 BAFTA Film Awards looking like someone who would give African starving kids a run for their money. Or should I say, a run for their food. But I truly believe that in 2026, especially with the release of her new music video Petal, the worst thing we can collectively do as a society is to keep coping and to keep pretending that there's nothing wrong with Ariana. I mean, the last time our society collectively failed at recognizing the severity of EDs and at helping another celebrity who was suffering from a mental condition surrounding Minecraft food was back in the 1970s when another extremely talented musician by the name of Karen Carpenter kept losing year after year and would show, just like Ariana, her impossible to ignore drastic transformation every time she would show up on TV, until the damages caused by her ED were simply too severe for her to simply turn back the clock, which caused her to sadly and tragically pass away from heart failure at the young age of 32. And the heartbreaking part about this whole story is the fact that near the end of her life, she actually realized that there was something drastically wrong with her, and she did everything she could in her power to get better, but sadly, it was too late.
Her eating not brought up very much.
Karen was blaming all of her health issues on just being overworked and pretending that it didn't even exist.
Now, to be fair, back in the 70s, our knowledge about EDs was extremely limited, which is why a lot of people back then attributed Karen's extreme body changes to her, you know, just following a diet or to her being overworked. But this kind of dismissive reaction fueled by ignorance shouldn't fly in 2026, because nowadays the field of medicine and psychiatry have evolved to the point where EDs are finally being recognized as extremely lethal mental conditions, which is why it boils my micro pee-pee when I see people dismissing what's going on with Ariana by saying stuff like, "You guys are exaggerating. It's not that serious," laughing my cheeks off. And you get people saying that those who are genuinely worried about Ariana Grande's health are exaggerating, that it's not that serious, when the deadliest mental disorder has been confirmed to be an ED, the same ED that Karen and allegedly Ariana might be suffering from. You've also got people still coping in 2026 by calling everybody who's genuinely concerned for Ariana hypocrites, because they're out there still clinging to Ariana's response video from 2023 when she said that she's the healthiest she's ever been. But the thing is that people have eyes, and there comes a point when if things just keep getting blatantly worse, then you're gonna have a proliferation of people who are going to say the quiet part out loud. But going back to what I said earlier, I think the worst thing we can collectively do as a society is to keep coping and to keep pretending that there's nothing wrong with Ariana and that she just looks like a different kind of healthy. Because we tried this strategy before, and guess what? It didn't really work. And God forbid history repeats itself. And with all of the context that we have today, it's becoming increasingly more clear that her whole spiel about how healthy can look different and about how she's the healthiest that she's ever been might have simply been Ariana being in denial this whole time. I mean, you want to know someone else who was in denial about having an ED until it was too late? Karen Carpenter herself.
There were rumors, though, that you were suffering from the Slimmer's disease, from anorexia, is that right?
No.
You went down to about 6 stone in weight, I think, didn't you?
I have no idea what 6 stone in weight is.
And 66 pounds, it's very difficult to work out. I think about 84 pounds.
No.
Or something like that. No.
So when I see comments of people saying to stop worrying about a problem that doesn't exist, and about how Ariana herself said that she's healthy, that she's the healthiest she's ever been, well, it just goes to show how there is still a huge lack of awareness around mental disorders in 2026. I mean, it's not uncommon. In fact, it's extremely common for people with mental disorders to not know that they're mentally ill, which is why it goes back to what I was saying earlier about how the worst thing we can do is to ignore the problem, say nothing, and to just ignore the Minecraft skeleton in the room. The only thing that saying nothing and ignoring the clear problem in front of us is going to end up achieving is tricking people with EDs into believing that their unhealthy lifestyles and unhealthy diets are normal, because no one's going to be there telling them, "Hey, why are you eating negative calories? Stop doing that." But the other reason why I fully support having sensible and respectful discussions around the Ariana Grande situation is because if we say nothing and don't say the quiet part out loud, it's just going to end up normalizing body types that are only achievable by starving yourself in Minecraft until it's too late to eat pork chop in order to refill your hunger bar on top of your health bar. We gotta remember that Ariana is one of the most popular celebrities alive, and a huge chunk of her fan base are not only impressionable teenagers, but impressionable adults as well who look up to her, who worship her, to the point where some of her fans literally scare Ariana Grande herself.
Oh my god! Can you sign my arm here for a tattoo, please? Above the line, above the line. Whatever you want. Something special to me.
Why? Is it going permanently?
It's going permanently.
Are you sure?
I promise you it's going permanently.
Are you sure you want that?
Yes, I do, of course. I have 5 tattoos about you. I have a God is a woman down my spine.
You don't have to do it if you don't like it.
I will absolutely do it.
Sure?
I love you so much. Thank you so much. I love you so much.
I love you. I love you. I love you so much.
Bro, when Ariana Grande is the one who looks concerned for your mental health, you know there's a problem. Smash like and subscribe if you agree. But that's the thing, right? If nobody says anything, you're gonna have all of those impressionable teenagers who will sincerely believe that Ariana Grande's body that was featured in her newest music video, Petal, is unironically T, as girls like to say nowadays, I think. In fact, if you go on ED Twitter right now, Don't go there, by the way. You're unironically going to see people tweeting #goals while uploading pictures of Ariana's body from that pedal music video. Let's be clear, guys. No, her body type is not #goals, because by that logic, if it truly is, why the fuck are we donating to charities that feed starving African kids? Their bodies are apparently #goals. But there is such a huge contrast between Ariana Grande's family and Ariana Grande's team. I mean, on one side, you've got her family that expressed genuine concern because, well, they have eyes, and it could clearly see that Ariana's mental and physical health were deteriorating, which is why they begged her for months to take a break. Whereas Ariana Grande's team, on the other hand, was more preoccupied with treating her as a product, or a cash cow if you would, and they were more interested in maximizing the profits of her newest album instead of taking a good look at her and saying, you know what, maybe she needs to go to the hospital. In fact, a few days ago, Ariana announced an indefinite break while on tour and reassured her fans that her break was planned for a long time now.
The announcement that was made yesterday was not a reactive or impulsive thing. It is something that I had decided. It's a plan that I had quietly made a long time ago, and it's a decision that was made from a thoughtful and empowered place.
I'm gonna be honest here, guys. I think that there is a reasonable high chance that Ariana Grande's long-planned break had something to do with her family begging her for a long time. But nevertheless, Ariana Grande's break was actually initially announced by her own team that issued a statement where they claimed that she was taking a break due to the public scrutiny that she was facing. A representative for the US singer 33 told People magazine that she will be taking a step back from visibility when the tour ends after her appearances led to endless, ongoing public scrutiny. Just for Ariana to correct her own team while on tour during a concert and to say that no, her break has nothing to do with the public scrutiny.
And I want you to know that many things can be true at the same time. I heard that my fans were worried that negativity was ruining things for me, but I just have to say that could not be more the opposite.
Man, I don't know. It's as if there's like a huge disconnect between Ariana and her own team, which just goes to show that you can be surrounded by people who care about you and still feel like you're alone and being misunderstood. I think it's reasonable to believe that Ariana cares infinitely more about her family's input than random fans who are concerned about her. But it is interesting to see that her own family came to the same conclusion when it comes to her condition as her worried fans, which adds credence to how people's concern wasn't misplaced. An anonymous family member says, "We have asked her to take a break. Actually, we've begged her like a lot. The insider said, adding that they were not talking about a day or two, but a break. The same source claimed bluntly, she's not well, she's anxious and unhappy. She doesn't sleep enough and she doesn't eat enough." Now, I'm personally going to side with Ariana's family as opposed to her team that's incentivized to, you know, generate as much money as possible through her. But let me know what you guys think.
Avengers! It's just one. Avenger Paladin. Today, I will be playing a Vengeance Paladin, aka Avenger. Vengeance adds fire, lightning, and cold damage depending on weapon damage, and with Conviction as a main aura, you can reduce enemies' resistance and defense. And one more thing, I'm not going to use any rune words. No rune words. Get Vengeance at level 18, so before that, I will be running with Holy Fire. Oh, I want this scepter so bad, but I'm short on money. Okay, gotta sell everything. First, armor, helmet, and gem, charm, ring. Okay. 2 Holy Fire scepter. I got it. You guys have seen Holy Fire plenty of times, so let's just skip it real quick. And Conviction unlocks at level 30, so I will hold off on any respects until then. And without rune words, I will be changing weapons a lot, so I need to save my reset button. Do all 3 elements hit at the same time, or does it trigger randomly? Okay. It looks like they all hit at the same time. Okay, 15 magic find rings. It's kind of nugget. And the light belt, unique. And it has maybe poison damage and poison resist. Okay, change to this one for the increased damage. Rare Crystal Sword. For Vengeance, weapon damage is important, but also attack speed seems crucial. Yeah, Crystal Sword really fits Vengeance perfectly. It feels like it's going to have a strong elemental damage. Vengeance uses a lot of mana, so I will stop leveling it here from now. And next I will get Resist Fire, which helps both Vengeance and Holy Fire. Rare Heavy Gloves. Oh, okay, it has 9 Magic Find. And I got 19 Magic Find Amulet from cubing. And now I got, wow, 50 Magic Find already. I'm hoping to really drop some good items. And Rare Bodish. This is for Emilio. And Brandy Stock. This one is 2 socket and this one is 3 socket. Okay, I put some runes. Yeah, I have 2 Tal and 1 Ral in the stash. Okay, upgrade the weapon to the 2-hand spear. Without a shield, I'm getting hit pretty often and my resistance are kinda low too. Oh shit, Emilio's dead. Okay, let's go. 4 rare. And oh, this jewel is amazing. 9 maximum damage like a Idrun. And on top of that, it gives poison damage and resistance. Wow, really good. Oh wait, there's a huge bug here. How did I miss that? Yeah, stabbing it doesn't kill it. Wow, I can kill this huge bug just by stepping on it. Oh, disgusting. Oh, amplify. Oh, yeah. What happened? I just came to Massive for finishing a quest. 22 mana. Mana was a problem earlier, but this is great. It even gives minimum damage. Okay. And Rare Spetum and Ethereal. Okay, 26 to 41. Okay, I will give it to the Emilio. And Kidbin time in Nomar. And just 15 AR. And poison resist. I don't need the poison. And Rare Horned Elm was 3 rare. With a high magic find from the beginning, rares are dropping pretty well. Okay, very good. I have 50 magic find. In Broadsword, Eisenheart maybe. And take Kalim's Frail. Yeah, Eisenheart. And Mephisto swap. Hey! Only rare. And 1 soulstone, unique. And 101 maximum damage. Maybe this one is better, but slow attack speed would be annoying, so I will let Emilio take it. And fill the plate for myself. And rare breastplate. Wow, so many rare drops. And double resist, cold and fire. And I don't really like heavy armor, so I changed it to the breast armor. And kill Hephaestus and take Hellforge hammer. And rare light plate boots was it's poison resist, but it also has 10 magic find. Maybe I have 60 magic find now. And I got Dur and Ortrun in the Hellforge. Superior Sucklet. I will save this Sucklet for an imbue later. Yeah, no rune words means no lower. And Fire Shrine. Wait, I really want to test if this Fire Shrine works on Diablo. I just click it again without thinking, and I found the longbow Ravenclaw. This is really nice weapon when you play the Holy Fire, but I can't use this one because I can't cast Vengeance with a bow. Okay, another rare pike. Okay, 39 enhanced damage. Okay, let's try this pike. Wow, look at the damage. Vengeance depends on the weapon's damage, so we change to this one for more damage. Wow, this pike is slow, way too slow. Okay, Heraldic Shield, no skill, and War Hammer. Okay, 21 to 33. Okay, Large Charm and Magic Ring. 7 life and okay, Lightning Resist 22. This is really nice for the Diablo. Diablo using the lightning skills. Okay. Oh! Wow! Wow! Thanks to the lightning resist ring, I can survive. Wow! Hello, today I'm gonna play a Bash Barbarian, and I will be using spears only, the ones that work perfectly with Bash. And I won't be using any rune words at all. Name is Bish Bash. Superior Wand. Wow, with this wand, it's gonna be a rich start. Chipped ruby, put into the spear. Yeah, if I knew there was a gem shrine right there, I would save it for a flood ruby. I don't need the flood diamond, so I got this ruby, one more. Oh, triple ruby. 3 ruby spear. I've been playing Diablo for like 20 years, and somehow I just learned this. Yeah, Beach Bosch can actually revive Shaman, not only the Perlin. Please tell me I'm not the only one who didn't know that. Okay, Beach Bosch versus Beach Bash. Hi. Oh, Real Bodish. I was thinking about using a pro arm, but the spear just fits Bash's vibe. The stabbing is way better than swinging. Okay, let's use spear. The Countess drop Nephron. Magic spear. Amplify damage. I will keep this spear in the stash. Might use it later. Okay, Andy, let's go. Wait. Rare Wood. Wood is poor arm. Okay, this is for the Act 2 Desert Mercenary. Yeah, Gulzar. The Blessed Aim Mercenary. For attack rating. Buying 3 Socket Spatum. Yeah, the Malice is the best, but I can't use the rune words. So I put Idrun and Tarun in 17 level. And Ralun in 19 level. Okay, let's go. 121 bash damage. Yeah, 1 shot, 1 kill. Yeah, Bash has that little built-in stun effect, so you don't even need to use the stun skill. But I hate the knockback. So yeah, using the words here is key to use the Bash. Now I'm level 17. Okay, put Tarun in the Spatum for 75 poison damage. Oh, rare ring. Oh, faster cast rate and lightning resist. Yeah, faster shouts. That's huge. Okay, now 19 level and Ralrun in the bottom. Okay, over 200 bash damage. And Grand Charm. And oh, poison damage too. Oh, Mercenaries killed Cold Worm solo. And Magic Ring, minimum damage, and AR. Okay. Okay, Fangskin uses charge, and I use the bash. The same effect, actually. Maybe he used the bash, not the charge. And I cube the amulet with 3 magic rings. It's a 10 lightning resist. And don't forget to use Battle Cry, it really helps. Horned Helm. Yeah, it looks like a Batman helmet. Actually, it looks more like Loki's helmet from the Avengers. The horns are coming out to the front. Fanged Helm. Okay, shout, leap, find the potion. Okay, let's change to this new helmet. And Grand Charm, Lightning Resist, and 5 strength. You know, 5 strength is 20 life to the Barbarian, because 1 vitality is 4 life for the Barbarian. And 30 attack rating Charm. And 16 fire resist. I have 33 lightning now, so change to the fire resist one. Okay. Oh, too slow. My weapon base is slow because it's just Spatum. No spear or the sword. 3 Warbear, wow. Okay. Grimside sword. Its name is Grimside, but it's just 2-handed sword. Grimside sword. And breast armor Eisenhart for me, for the defense. And rare trident. Okay. 10 to 24 and fire damage. He used the woods. Okay, this one is better, I think. I can't jump the river with this leap. I need leap attack. I didn't invest in leap attack, and the leap is from the helm. Okay, large charm. Okay, 11 lightning damage. It's a little bit helpful in normal, actually. Okay, kills his job. And okay, I can jump. It's just narrow. And Gidibin. Hoit. Oh, 29 fire resist and 14 magic find. Yeah, very nice. Okay, level up. Now I'm level 24. Better orders and increased speed. Jump. Okay. It's a shortcut. And kill Endugu. And Endugu baby. Ah shit, no rare. And kill Sarina. Light plate boots was 19 magic find. Okay. And throwing mastery, X mastery. But there is no spear mastery. And I found 18 poison resist charm. And the amulet. Oh, 14 magic find. I will swap this when I fight with Mephisto, Diablo, Bell, or the boss monsters. And 14 lightning resist. And kill Ismail Bilehand in Tropical. Okay, let's go, Mephisto. Oh, Avenger God. Tuso Cat. And some little attack rating. I can put Rar and Orturun for the resistance. Yeah, many people like this Slayer God through Arya face. Okay, swap. Hoit. Ah, 1 unique. And light blade boots. 15 magic find. And Persian. Ah, Glimpse side. Oh, this one is named Glimpse side, not Grim side. And I gamble the plated belt for more potion slots. Okay. Rare fire resist and poison. I gamble the heavy gloves for the Sender gloves, and the blood fist are all the heavy gloves. Let's go. Oh, perfect ruby is very nice. But the rune was eld. Hoit. 10 increased attack speed and 6 crushing blow, but its required level is 34. Maybe I can use that in Nightmare. Large charm. Oh yes, all resistance and 9 life. What a greatest find in Normer. And longsword hell plague. Wow, I really want to use this, but okay, go to Act 5 and pick up a Barb Merce with your sword. Wait, Taunt doesn't work on Oblivion Knights. It's because they are a spellcaster or something, I think. I have enough lightning resist. It doesn't matter. Oh, shit. Okay, ouch. Oh, a little bit strong. Okay, swap the ring and amulet for magic find. 1 unique military pick, Skull Splitter, and I found spear, but it's Amazon only. And I'm buying crystal sword and fire damage on it. And I rescue barbarian. I want a Bashimers, but no good weapon at the moment. So yeah, French this time. I have a longsword unique and crystal sword fire damage on it. Okay, look at his damage. I think he is stronger than me. Yeah, and faster. And I gamble the lens. Actually, it's a pike. This magic is 17. 13 enhanced damage and poison damage. Oh yes, 58, 22 to 108. But you know, the slowest weapon in Diablo, I think. Okay, perfect ruby. And I made open wounds belt, 29 level and 6 chance. And life and 30 poison resist. Okay, let's go. Oh shit. Too slow. No. Wow, shit. I wanna hit him. Okay. Iron skin. Lightning fire resist, but it's too low. Okay, now I'm level 29. I changed my belt. Broad axe unique. Gore shovel. It also has 60% open wounds, but I can't use X. Oh, Pilum. 100 enhanced damage. You know, the Pilum is also the spear, throwing spear. I can already see the comments. Actually, javelins and spears are different. Yeah, okay, I agree. Okay, let's go. Sweet engines cut. Now I'm level 30. Natural resistance and battle command. These suicide guys are way gorier than I thought. Their legs are just flying everywhere. Oh shit. Shirun. It's happening again. The moment I can't use rune words, the runes start dropping like crazy. Wow, Decreepify plus Pike plus Freeze. What a slow. Okay, Tormentor cuts. Oh, the screens are earthquaking. Let's go, Bell. Give me some nice. Oh, Pike, please. It's only 19 inner damage. And Francisca. Okay. And Sparkling Mail. It has lightning resist and also lightning damage. And lightning poison Helm. Okay, let's go to Nightmare. Then of Able. Chain Gloves. Clickler.
I have the highest version. It gives negative 50% to attack speed on the monster, negative 50% to their run walk speed. It also gives some additional benefits of plus 44% damage taken, which is actually similar to amplify damage and decrepify. So it does actually reduce the monster's physical resistance by 44%, which is really nice. It has negative 57% enemies defense too, which makes it easier to hit those targets as well, and it's just a really good curse all around. Now at base level, if you have the base 1 point wonder, as you can see, I have 50% attack speed, 50% run walk speed, 25% damage taken, and 38% defense. It also only goes 4 yards at an early level, so if we look at it from a certain standpoint, you can see it doesn't have a very large radius, but it is still mildly useful for going against certain monsters, especially if you're a melee character. You can very easily just cast this on a monster while you're trying to fight them. But as you put points into it and you get the level higher, the radius does go up, and the duration goes up, and also all the nice benefits go up as well, and it gets to the point where it lasts for an amazing 29 seconds, and it also has a much larger radius, allowing you to keep that negative debuff on the monsters for much longer. When the monsters are cursed, or whatever this particular sigil does with this effect, they actually turn a very interesting blue color. Not quite the same blue as like a freezing effect, but more like this blue, which almost looks like a teal blue, which is very interesting. And so as long as they are inside the sigil, they have this effect on them. They are slower, they attack slower, and they take more damage, which makes the sigil extremely effective. This sigil is also on one of the new rune words, the Coven rune word. And if you are not a warlock and you'd like to get access to this sigil, the Coven rune word does have level 10. Level 10 lethargy when struck, which is really nice. So a 5% chance to cast this around you. I actually think that this helmet's going to be really popular this season for melees, because it essentially gives you a basically kind of like a inherent way to apply this to targets. And the helmet's not that bad either. Leveling up, I used this as a 1 point wonder, and I was very impressed. Extremely impressed with this ability. It's sort of like a combination between like Decrepify and maybe some other abilities that reduce like resistances. It doesn't quite have the same impact for the negative physical resistance as Decrepify, or Amplify damage for that matter, but it does do a really good job slowing down the monsters and making them much more vulnerable. I mean, lowering their attack speed, lowering their run walk speed, lowering their defense so they're easier to hit, all of which is very, very nice. I think that a lot of people are really going to like the combination of this particular ability together with the others. Let's check and see if it can be used in combination with curses. That's a good like check, right? So here we have monsters that are decrepified and hit with the sigil at the same time. So it looks like you can potentially curse a monster and use the sigil on them at the same time, which is pretty crazy. Dying. Don't mind me. It's kind of nuts. Like, it's so easy to kite these guys while they're inside the circle. I mean, look at them. They can't even... There's like no way they'd ever reach me. You can just run around them in circles, and they're stuck in there forever because their run walk speed is so slow. Definitely seems like it would be very powerful for any caster type, just to have like a way to kite. And yeah, you could potentially combine it together with other effects like Decrepify or Holy Freeze, or even have a mercenary that's using like a Kelpie Snare, something of that nature. Definitely get there and like slow down the targets by even a larger percentage. Just completely unable to touch me. Of course, as soon as they leave the sigil, if you notice, as soon as they leave the sigil, they lose the effect. So they do have to be standing in the sigil to get the effect, which does make it a little bit awkward for some monsters that might teleport around the screen, or, you know, like in general, just they're really, 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 really fast, right? And so they're going to run through it really quickly and get to you on the other side and then lose the negative effect, which pretty much means that if you're a melee character, you really just want to fight inside the sigil, because that's where you're going to have the best benefit. Whereas if you fight outside the sigil, that's just silly, because then the monsters won't be getting the effect of whatever it is that you're doing. As far as the sigils go, I think this is most likely the strongest of the three, in my personal opinion, and it's definitely one that you can 1-point wonder, if not sink a couple points into, for dramatic effect. And I really do like the lethargy sigil. There's really not much more to say about it. It can work into just about any single build. It's amazing. It's essentially like the Warlock's version of Decrepify. It's kind of better in some ways too, because it lowers the monster's defense and their attack speed, and their run walk speed. It's kind of crazy, to be perfectly honest. I'm kind of curious, like, how high it goes. Like, if you keep pumping points into it and you keep having like plus the skills. Like, if you're a chaos character, as an example, let's say you're running Miasma Bolt, or you're running like the Ring of Fire setup, and you have a lot of points in the chaos. You're running chaos skillers, and you're running like all the plus the skills that you can get. Like, how high does this really go? Because, I mean, theoretically, if you're one of these characters, like a fire character or a miasma character, you're probably going to have really high lethargy, whether you want it or not. So it'll be interesting in the long run to see just how useful it ends up being, especially for some of these builds that are going to get it for free, mind you. As always, I'd appreciate you guys and gals watching. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button if you enjoy the content. And one last thing before I forget, it does break physical immunities. I did test it. I had some monsters that were physically immune, and I used the lethargy sigil on them, and it did break the physical immunity. And as always, keep watching.
Stay a while and listen.
Hello guys and gals, and welcome to an episode of Skills and Abilities. Today we're going to be going over the miasma ability known as a miasma bolt. Miasma bolt is kind of interesting. It is sort of similar to like a fire bolt, sort of similar to like an ice bolt or something of that nature, but it has additional mechanics involved. One thing I will point out right away for you guys is that as it increases in level, it also increases in mana cost. So it may be very difficult to stack this early on as a low-level character with limited mana options, because you're going to have issues with, like actually getting this spell off. It does have two mechanics to it. So first off, it has the base damage, which is actually when it hits the target. Then it actually creates these like little miasma like puddles underneath of the monster's feet, and those little miasma puddles do additional damage, which is actually quite cool. In fact, I was actually looking at them, and there's a lot of ways that you can potentially mess around with the miasma themselves. Now, there are synergies for this, and of course you can beef up the two synergies, which is the miasma chains, which is going to of course increase the damage and the average magic damage per level of the per second. And then there's also the abyss, which increases that as well. Now these are just your standard damage bonuses though. So like even if you pump up all the damage bonuses for the ability, it's not really going to change the way that the ability functions so much as it just adds additional damage to the attacks. And as you can see, it goes up to 638 magic damage with 1,828 magic damage per second, with a miasma radius of 2 yards and a duration of 5.4 seconds. This means that, of course, if I attack one of these monsters, you'll see that the miasma puddle stays on the ground for a particularly long period of time after the monster's there. 5.4 seconds, though, is something that you could definitely stack if you have a high enough faster cast rate, because you could think, like, if I can cast, say, let's pretend you have at least 10 frames on your casting speed. This means, of course, that you can get 25 divided by 10, which is roughly about 2.5 attacks per second, and then we could multiply that by over 5 seconds, which means that you could potentially have 12 and a half, about 12 puddles underneath of the monster's feet. Now, there is another ability, and of course I think I'm going to be in the way for this one. This one is called Enhanced Entropy, and I'm probably going to have to move myself for this. Enhanced Entropy is a pretty amazing ability that essentially allows you to enhance overall the function of how these abilities work. And if you take a look at it, it says miasma radius increased 4 yards, plus 3.4 seconds to miasma duration, bonus to abyss radius. And what this is going to do is it's going to make your miasma more effective, just in general. If we beef it up to its maximum, you can see that we have miasma radius 4 yards, plus 4 seconds to miasma radius duration, and 7.2 yards to the bonus to abyss. So this brings us up to, looks like 6 seconds and 4 yards on our miasma radius for the miasma bolt, which turns the miasma from a little single target puddle underneath of the monster's feet to more of a actual ability which is going to do damage to a larger crowd. So let's take a look and see how it looks now that we have the additional radius and the duration from the miasma, the enhanced entropy. And let's take a look here. So we've got a couple monsters coming up. So as you can see, our radius on our miasma is much larger now, and the duration of our miasma is lasting much longer, which means that we can stack so many of these little miasma puddles underneath of the monster's feet, dishing out more and more damage. And that while the damage of the ability isn't the most amazing, the amount of these little damage puddles that you could potentially stack underneath their feet at any given time is going to increase exponentially, and it's going to do pretty good AoE damage as well. Pardon me. I've been struggling with a cold, and I'm trying my best. Now, interestingly enough, Miasma Bolt, of course, synergizes with the Abyss. which means that you can very easily combine together Miasma Bolt and the Abyss. This means that you can use the Abyss to suck in the monsters, and you can use the Miasma Bolt to have that puddle underneath of their feet. My suggestion would be to fire the Miasma Bolt first and then apply the Abyss, sucking all the monsters in and causing them to all be hit by the Abyss and the Miasma Bolt at the same time, which is actually really quite good. The damage output is in Nightmare difficulty here, though, so let's move to Hell difficulty so you can see what it looks like against Hell monsters. Of course, it doesn't quite have the same effectiveness, like the same awe factor when I'm in Nightmare difficulty. Let's find some monsters here. So we're going to suck them in and murder them, suck them in, murder them, suck them in, murder them. And honestly, like at a certain point, if you start stacking those miasma puddles in the same exact place and using the Abyss to suck them in, it actually works surprisingly well. And I could see like an entire build just with faster cast to try and optimize the maximum number of miasma bolts that you could come up with. Increasing the duration of the miasma and the size of the miasma is obviously going to have a huge effect on its damage output, especially in large crowds like cows and things like that. And then combining together with the Abyss really makes for a very effective ability, because you can just pull all the monsters into that 4-yard radius miasma and cause them to all get damaged at the same time, which allows you to just really stack them in the same place is really all it comes down to. Because if you're firing those miasmas in the same exact spot, you're pulling all the monsters into that spot that you're stacking the miasmas on. Then when the monsters land there, they're going to get hit by 6, 7, 8, 9, like 10 miasmas all at the same time, all proccing damage and just doing massive amounts of damage over time for the target, which is actually really, really good. Now, the damage type of this particular ability is magical damage, which is an element that has been relatively rare in Diablo 2 over the, like many characters. There's only a couple magic damage characters in the game, like Hammerdins, Bone Spear Necromancers, and so forth. Now, this is adding it to the list. Now, magic damage tends to be relatively strong early on, but kind of falters later on due to the lack of negative resistance. Except in the Reign of Warlock, they've added a bunch of negative magic resistance sources. You can get some through consuming monsters. For instance, if you use the Consume ability, there's quite a few monsters in the game that have some very large negative magic resistances, like Shank the Overseer has negative 42% enemy magic resistance. We also have the Battlemaid Serena with negative 45, and then on top of that there is also Cold Crow, I believe, which for some reason isn't in my list. I believe Cold Crow also has negative magic resistance, but you can eat them. And an easier option is you can potentially just simply eat the Defiler. So the Defiler is a summon that you can summon yourself, and you can just simply go ahead and grab yourself a Defiler. It's one of those crazy little monsters that's in like Act 5 that like infects other people and causes them to make their own little minions. It's kind of disgusting, to be perfectly honest. But if you go to the Consume ability, you'll see that it offers negative 10% enemy magic resistance and 20% skill damage, magic skill damage, which is going to be very effective for increasing your damage on your ability. And let me go ahead and eat him right now. And you can see that I've gone up to 753 magic damage and 2,157 magic damage per second. It's going to be a really solid build early on because not a lot of monsters in the game have magic immunity, and not a lot of monsters in the game have magic resistance, period. There are some monsters in the game that have really high magic resistance, like the Ubers and whatnot, but hopefully by the time you reach that point, you will have amassed enough negative magic resistance via gear, consume options, and other things to get like the Sunder Charm, for instance, to make a kind of a moot point. Of course, when you build Miasma Bolt, you get access to all of the other skills like Miasma Chain and Abyss, and if you beef up the Enhanced Entropy, you can really make Miasma Bolt into quite an interesting AoE damage ability. Overall, I'm very impressed with it as a starter ability, although the mana cost per cast does continually rise with every single level that you put into this ability, which means that it's going to continue to get worse and worse and worse as far as mana cost. So I hope you're prepared to deal with the mana issues that this ability is going to bring to your character. It could also potentially help tremendously if you had a solid tank. And the Goatman might be that tank for you if you're running like the cheap build setup, because having the Goatman standing there holding them in place means that they're going to obviously not move. And them not moving means that, well, just in general, they're going to stand there and take the brunt force of the ability. So even combining it with Abyss, of course, which also sucks them in, but this one, of course, is going to help get them to stand still in one place so that you can very easily stack those puddles. In fact, having a strong mercenary or a strong minion with this ability is definitely going to go a long way, because a lot of your damage comes from the damage over time puddle that is under their feet, not the actual on-hit damage, which is mediocre at best. I mean, it's, what is that, less than half, right? So it's less than half of the damage per second, and of course you can drop multiple puddles under their feet, so you can have multiple puddles ticking at the same time, dealing massive amounts of magic damage. And that's pretty much it. Lethargy probably would go really well with this ability, just to slow the monsters down as well, making it easier for your minion tank, and also making it harder for them to get out of the miasma. And then, of course, the Abyss can definitely be used to pull them around and get them into the miasma as well. I mean, it's a very solid build. I think it's a safe build early on because of the just general goodness of magic damage for bypassing most resistances in the game early on. It definitely has some good options too, between the miasma bolts, the chain, and the Abyss. Like going back and forth, you can definitely have some pretty fun like encounters. Miasma chain in general just is really fun as well, having the chains running around doing average damage per second as well, which you could very easily combine together with miasma bolt for another form of damage, because you can get the miasma chains going on the other side of the monster, and the miasma bolts at the same time, right? So like you can have like a pack of monsters like this, you can have a couple chains running, you can fire off a couple bolts, and you can definitely have like everything going at the same time, dishing out massive amounts of magic damage. I think a lot of people are going to have fun with the Abyss setup. I do think that with the negative magic resistance that they've added into the game, the Abyss could be extremely powerful, or rather the entire like miasma tree, let's just call it miasma tree, is going to be really powerful. I think people are going to enjoy it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments of the miasma bolt ability. Are you guys planning on making your own miasma bolt build? We'll have to do some theory crafts before the ladder launch, so look out for those. And as always, keep watching.
Good day. Good day.
Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Skills and Abilities. Today we're going to be going over another one of the Eldritch Tree skills, which is the Echoing Strike. Now Echoing Strike has been a topic of discussion for quite a bit because of how kind of OP it is, and we're going to be talking about like exactly what is going on with Echoing Strike, how it functions. I'm going to demonstrate it for you, not just tell you answers. I want you guys to see the difference between certain effects so that you know exactly how the ability functions. That way you can get an idea. Now, one of the things that I wanted to test with Echoing Strike when it first came out was I wanted to see like how it functioned in terms of like attack rating, and like crushing blow, procs, and all sorts of other things. So I went through the process of creating several items specifically for the purposes of testing this stuff. Two of the items that I created were basically just some very simple wands, a faster cast wand and a increased attack speed wand. Because one of the things that I was interested in is like, is this based on attack speed or is it based on faster cast? Well, when you test it, it's really simple. So this is the faster, or sorry, lights. This is the base attack with no effects. So let's see here. Echoing Strike. So this is the base attack with no effects. And then, of course, we have our faster cast. Our increased attack speed. We'll do that one first. Looks like no change to me. And then I have our 107 faster cast wand that I edited in. And as you can clearly see, there is a huge increase in attack speed with the faster cast, which means that Echoing Strike is a faster cast-based skill, not an increased attack space-based skill. In fact, I'm fairly certain, and this is actually kind of funny, I'm fairly certain that Echoing Strikes is literally just a modified version of Blade Sentinel. If you ever played the Assassin, if you've ever done the Blade Tree, the Blade Sentinel is an ability that basically just shoots out these little spinning blades that go out and then they come back. I'm pretty sure, like 99.9% sure, that somebody just took Blade Sentinel and edited it, gave it a new animation, because it seems to follow almost all the same rules that Blade Sentinel did, including like the special rules like Crushing Blow and proccing effects and whatnot not working. So that was another thing that I wanted to test, is I wanted to see whether or not Blade Sentinel, or rather, Echoing Strike worked with proccing effects. So this is a weapon that has a 100% chance to cast level 1 Frozen Orb on attack, and another effect of 100% chance to cast level 1 Tornado on striking. I edited this in myself. And if I go up and I attack a monster just regularly, just beat him in the head with my mace here, you'll see that the effects do in fact work. And we get a Frozen Orb, and we also get a Tornado. However, if I use Echoing Strike instead of using a regular attack, what you'll notice is that the 100% chance to proc these effects does not work. So Echoing Strike, unfortunately, does not have an ability to proc any effects whatsoever, which does make it kind of an odd man out in the melee or like ranged attacks of the Eldritch Tree, because both Cleave and Mirrored Blades can proc effects. I also tested other things like Crushing Blow, and that does not work. In fact, just about everything that Blade Sentinel was restricted to seems to apply also to this ability. In fact, I can pretty much just bring up the Blade Sentinel panel and just show you the Blade Sentinel panel, because I'm pretty sure that it lines up almost exactly with this ability. And I have a screenshot of that in here, in the massive number of screenshots that I've been taking since the launch of this thing. But I know it's in here somewhere. Yep, here it is. So I would pretty much just use this as your Bible for this particular ability until we have a full list of things that work and don't work with the ability, because I'm pretty sure from what I've seen so far and what I've tested, it seems to be lining up almost exactly with Blade Sentinel. So Blade Sentinel, minimum and maximum damage do work. Damage plus percentage works, but I'm not really sure that damage plus percentage works for Echoing Strike because it's magic damage, but it probably still applies to the physical portion that comes from the weapon, which it does have a percentage of the damage that comes from the weapon. Critical Strike and Deadly Strike work, magic damage, fire damage, lightning damage, cold damage, poison damage work, as well as cold and poison length. Attack rating percentage, negative monster defense per hit, extra gold for monsters, better chance of magic items, and fire, lightning, cold, poison skill damage, as well as negative enemy resistance of all types. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff missing from this list. There's no Crushing Blow, there's no open wounds. There's a lot of various effects that probably are not going to work with Echoing Strike. Now that being said, is Echoing Strike a good ability? Well, it has a lot of damage. It has the same exact kind of damage that the Blade Sentinel has. So one of the things about the Blade Sentinel, Blade Fury, Blade Armor on the Assassin was that when they added the synergies, it would get massive amounts of free damage from the synergy bonuses themselves, and it didn't really seem to matter what weapon you used because you were getting so much free damage from the ability itself. Then, on top of that, when you put a weapon on, it adds even more damage to the ability by giving you even more hits. So, for instance, if you're utilizing something silly, like if you're just utilizing like a weapon like this that has no physical damage on it, you see that Echoing Strike is still saying it does 14,000 damage, which is kind of insane. for basically using a weapon that has actually no real damage bonus. But then when you put a weapon that actually does have damage on it, like for instance an Death Colossus sword, you can see the damage balloons relatively dramatically to 29,000. Another thing about Echoing Strike is that it's technically physical damage. So it has attack rating, it has physical damage, and increasing physical damage is going to help. So things like a Phoenix Shield are going to add massive amounts of damage to this particular ability because you have the base damage of the ability, which is already way too much for some reason. You have the damage that comes from the weapon, which is also adding into the equation. And then, of course, you also have the off-weapon enhancement multipliers, which are going to give you even more damage output. In general, this Echoing Strike ability is actually kind of like dumb, stupid, insane. It does massive amounts of damage. It pretty much just like one-shots or two-shots most monsters. Not only that, but it can be spread out into a fan depending on where you use the ability. Like, for instance, if you're standing very far away from the monster and you use an ability on the monster, it will usually all hit the monster at the same time. Whereas if you use your ability and you just simply click close to your character, you clearly see it almost comes out in a multi-shot, making it a very powerful ability in both single target and also AoE damage. It's going to be a very fun ability for a lot of people. And there's another thing. So one other interesting caveat, and there has been some reports that potentially this is a bug, but I'm going to tell you guys anyway, and if it does get patched out later, then so be it. So one of the things is that apparently it doesn't burn durability, which has been tested. So this is a bone hue right here that currently has 33 out of 50 durability, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to use Echoing Strike on some monsters real quick and see if we can burn durability off of this weapon. From my experience so far, the Echoing Strike ability does not burn durability, and unless that they decide to fix it, it is currently a skill that can use ethereal items without having to worry about putting a Zod rune or getting Repairer's durability, which opens up the overall possibilities of essentially getting like massive amounts of damage from some very interesting items in the ethereal status that you might never have normally considered, because normally they would have broken. And of course, let's just keep killing a couple monsters here real quick to really hammer it home. But we still have 33 out of 50 durability so far. And let's kill a couple more. And this isn't even a fully set up character. So for references, I've seen damage numbers up in the 100,000s with this particular ability. Utilizing the proper equipment plus the skills and getting everything, all the charms and everything properly set up. This ability is going to be one that people are going to have a lot of fun with. And as you can clearly see, despite killing multiple monsters, I'm still at 33 out of 50 durability. So unless they fix this and they decide, hey, this is a bug, we don't want this, you're going to be able to use ethereal versions of weapons that you've never used before. Like an ethereal bone hue without a Zod rune in it, and I could put other runes in it instead. Like I could throw 2 ohms in it if you want, which is going to be pretty crazy. Now the synergy requirements for Echoing Strike are mirrored blades, which is going to give you additional blades. So this is something that I kind of just like skipped over entirely because I wanted to show you the ability. But in the beginning, when you first use Echoing Strike, what you're going to notice is that it doesn't really give you any additional blades. So you only get the one. As you level up, your Mirrored Blades ability in tandem with the Echoing Strike, you're going to get more blades, and it basically functions at a rate of 1 blade per, I think it's 5 levels. So once you get to 5 points, 5 hard points, you get a second blade. Once you get to 10 hard points, you get a third blade. Once you get to 15 hard points, you get a fourth blade. And then finally, once you get to the 20, which is the cap on Mirrored Blades, you have 5 total blades being put out. So Mirrored Blades is a very powerful and very important synergy to Echoing Strike to really get the most out of it. Now, to increase the damage of Echoing Blades or Echoing Strike as much as possible, you're going to use Blade Warp, which is going to give you a bonus to the damage per level. And then you also are going to max out Levitation Mastery. And by the time you're done maxing out these things, you have a very powerful Echo Strike. As you can see, I'm currently at 14k to 36k with an Eth Bone Hue right now. And of course, there's other potential options that you could use. But as you can clearly see, like, we're in Hell difficulty, and I'm pretty sure we're currently on Player's 8. We're currently on Player's 8. And I'm just like running around one-shotting everything with the current Echoing Strike. And this isn't even anywhere near close to how much you can max it out. I kind of fully expect this one to get nerfed a little bit before the season launches on February 20th. But we shall see. Overall, just a really powerful ability. It does have some severe limitations. No proccing effects. Like, you're not going to be able to proc Amp Curse. You're not going to be able to proc Decrepify. You're not going to be able to get any Crushing Blow, which is going to make it a little bit more difficult to kill bosses. Although from what I've been looking at so far, the damage is so good that when you basically fire 5 of these attacks at a, like, Uber Diablo, the massive amount of damage that it does kind of like completely usurps the need for Crushing Blow. So even though it doesn't have Crushing Blow, it still does ridiculous amounts of damage and makes it so that Crushing Blow isn't even necessary. We will see what the future holds for Echoing Strike, but as it is right now, it is a very fun ability that you can utilize to your advantage and get some really good effectiveness out of. You can also potentially utilize this with the hexes, of course, adding in more additional damage through like Hex Bane or explosions through Hex Purge, or just getting some additional recovery through Hex Siphon. And all of that equals a very powerful ability. The only downside is it doesn't really have a synergy with any of the hexes, so you have to build into those manually. I think that's pretty much it for Echoing Strike. All in all, it's a very fun ability, and I'd recommend playing around with it. As always, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button. I'm getting close to 100,000 subscribers, and I appreciate the support. And keep watching.
Hello.
Hail to you, champion.
Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Skills and Abilities. Today we're going to be taking a look at a skill that is near and dear to us Diablo 1 players' hearts. It is Apocalypse. Apocalypse, like some of the other ones, actually pretty much all of the fire skills are D1 skills, by the way. Flame Wave is literally Flame Wave from D1, and Immolation is Ring of Fire. And Apocalypse, if you guys remember in Diablo 1, was one of the most overpowered skills because it hit everything on the entire screen. You just pressed a button and boom, everything got masterfully blazed in a ball of fire. Well, that's basically how Apocalypse works. Apocalypse has the same exact effectiveness. It literally just makes a huge flame wave basically on the ground. It kind of draws like its own little pentagram and everything. Man, if this thing existed in Diablo 2 back in the day, I think our parents would have never let us play the game. Because it literally draws a pentagram and then explodes and makes all the monsters ignite with Apocalypse. Boom. I think it's even the same graphic as Apocalypse even. Now, at lower levels, it's only 15 radius, and it does increase in radius. I think it's like every 10 levels or something, or every 5 levels. I can't remember. It also goes up with negative fire resistance. Now, a lot of people have already made this mistake, is that the negative fire resistance on the skill is only applying to the skill. So if you look at the skill, it says creates a pentagram that engulfs all enemies in hellfire, reducing enemy fire resistance for Apocalypse damage. That means that it only affects Apocalypse, guys, unfortunately. Now, as you level it up, it does get more radius, it does get more negative resistance, and it seems to cap out at about 17 yards, because it doesn't seem to go any higher than 17 yards. The negative fire resistance does actually seem to keep going up, and if you have enough plus to skills and various other things, I'm just throwing some points in so I can get my plus to skills. It does go up pretty high in the negative resistance department, enough that you could potentially rely on this, honestly, for like breaking fire immunes if you have a Sunder. So like if you have the Sunder, it brings them down to 95, and then you have this, and it's negative 40%, and then that brings them down to, you know, a very comfy, what is that, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, so like 55% fire resistance, which isn't too bad for a fire immune. And it's going to work pretty good well against monsters that are not fire immune, also for the same reasons. Now, Apocalypse does have a casting delay. The casting delay is fairly long, at 1.8 seconds, and this is, of course, including your casting delay. So a lot of people get really confused about this, and I'm going to try and explain this the best I can, so that those of you who want to build Apocalypse builds this season can get the most out of your Apocalypse. Essentially, how it works is a second is broken up into 25 frames. So 25 frames. If you take this, which is 1.8 seconds, and you go 1.8 times 25, you're going to end up with 45 frames approximately. Now, the reason why you end up with 45 frames is because this is almost 2 full seconds. So 25 plus 25 would be 50. But it's not. It's technically 1.8. However, we also have our own casting delay to take into account. So faster cast, or whatever your faster cast is on your character, is also going to add to this total. So 45 is the number of frames that it currently is. But for instance, if you have 10 frame faster casting, then you're going to add 10 frames to that, and that's going to give you your 55. Now, the thing about this is that you can decrease your faster cast frames, but you cannot decrease the delay. So the hard delay of 45 frames is always going to be there. But if you have really bad faster cast, like say you have 15 frame faster cast or something, then that's going to bring it up to 60 frames, which if we divide that by 25 is going to be like 2.4 seconds. And the skill only has a casting delay of 1.8. So theoretically, you can bring the overall casting delay closer to that 1.8 seconds by increasing your faster cast rate, which of course is going to decrease the overall frames that you have on your character. As far as I'm aware, unless somebody has any different information, the Warlock has the same faster cast frames, I believe, as the Necromancer. So you can just take a look at those and see where you want to lie on that list. Now, the unfortunate side effect of this means is that, well, decreasing or increasing the speed of the ability, even by minute amounts, might not necessarily have the drastic effect that you're looking for. But over a long period of time, like for instance, if you're at 2.4 seconds per cast, as opposed to a lower cast rate, you can get off more or less, basically, apocalypses, right? So if it's a much slower apocalypse, you're going to get off less over a long period of time. And in fact, let's do this over like a 60-second period, right? So let's pretend that you have a 2.4 second cast time character, and we over 60 seconds, we divide that by 2.4. That's 25 total casts. If we take another character who has the 45 base frames, but then they have, let's say, I don't know, 8 frames on their faster cast because they're running a lot of faster cast, and then we divide that by 25, we're going to end up with 2.12. So if we take 60 seconds and we divide that by 2.12, we're going to end up with 28 casts instead of 25. So basically, for a large amount of faster cast, you can potentially get off like maybe 3 or 4 extra, like apocalypses, in the same time period as somebody else with a slower, faster cast, if that makes any sense. Now, the delay on this is actually not only like in the casting, but it's also in the actual application of the ability. So like the entire delay is actually the time it takes for the ability to go off, which means that you do have to wait for a significant amount of time for the ability to actually fire and cause the Hellfire to hit the targets. It is a rather large effect, though, and if you have it capped out with all of the other synergy bonuses, it does some pretty significant damage of 12,115 to 14,225, and then on top of that, it also has the negative resistance as well, which means that, you know, you're looking at some pretty significant fire damage. The thing about the casting delay is that it's so long that you're probably going to end up using something else in the meantime. So you're probably going to end up using either Flame Wall in between casts, or you're going to be using Ring of Fire in between casts, one or the other. This is definitely going to make for an interesting gameplay loop, because you're going to have to decide like which ability you want to use in between your Apocalypse. Apocalypse also has kind of like a really high mana cost. As you can see, it costs 69 per cast, which, you know, of course, yes, it is delayed, but 69 per cast can be burned through really quickly. As you can see, if I just hold down the button here, I'm able to burn through my mana at a pretty astounding rate. And that's, of course, not including anything else that I might be casting in between. So this build is going to be kind of mana hoggy. Now, the negative res on it is actually really nice, but you can potentially get more negative res if you go into the demon tree. So, if you may not have actually considered this, but the Summon Tainted actually makes for a very good option for basically a 1-point wonder. And Consume, also a very good option for 1-point wondering. So what you're going to do is you're going to summon forth a Tainted, and you're going to eat him with the Consume ability. And if you do that, you're going to get a very nice negative 15% enemy fire res, which is going to stack on top of your Apocalypse's 40, and then you're going to get plus 20% fire skill damage as well, which is going to definitely help out your ability in a massive way. So now my Apocalypse is doing 15,690, and then I have, instead of 40% negative res, I have 55% negative res, which is actually really sweet. Now, there are other monsters that you can consume if you bind them. So if you do want to go down a little bit further and you want to get access to the Bind Demon ability, there are a really big list of demons throughout the game, super unique and specifically, that have huge amounts of negative fire res. In fact, if you were to consume Pitspawn Foul Dog, Witch Doctor at Dugu, Battle Maids, not Battle Maid Serena, that was magic. Made for Dragon Hand, there's so many of them. Infector of Souls, Sharptooth, no, not Sharptooth, Doc Farron, Kalenzo the Annihilator, Ventar the Unholy. There's so many that give negative fire res between 42 to like negative 50. That if you combine that together with the huge negative res that's already on Apocalypse of negative 40, and you get an additional negative 50, then that means that you're going to be sitting at negative 90 for Apocalypse right off the bat. And with the addition of Asunder, you're going to be able to murder pretty much everything in the game utilizing the Consume method. Now, the Consume method does require you to go actually bind the demon, though. So there is the cheaper version, which requires less skill points. It's the Summon Tainted. Depends on what you want to do. The Summon Tainted is also a fire damage character and can potentially add to your fire damage total, so it could be interesting to have some Summon Tainted on your side as well. There's also the Blood Boil ability, which is also fire related, and going into basically the fire tree means that you may have other options that you might have at your disposal. Or you could just use some Goatmen as some tanks to get the pressure off of you while you're firing off your abilities. That all works too. All in all, the fire tree is definitely going to be a really popular one this season, although I'm going to caution you right now about the fire tree. unless they fix it. The Sunder Charms are currently very rare. We spent about 3 days farming with like an entire kinship, entire clan, and we got one latent charm in 3 days. And it was a Hork. It wasn't even a drop, it was a Hork from a Barbarian. And it was from one of the Heralds, so we Horked one of the Heralds and got one of the charms. So to give you a little bit of perspective here, fire might not necessarily be the best starter. Unless you have another way to deal with fire immunes, or you're in a group and it doesn't really matter. Like if you're in a group and you have lots of people with you that can make up the difference of the, the different immunities, then it's not going to be a big deal. But if you are by yourself, fire might be a rough starter, especially considering that the fire immunes start really heavily in nightmare difficulty. The negative fire res on Apocalypse does not break resistances, doesn't break immunities. It will reduce fire res, which is really nice, but it doesn't actually break anything. There is the Blood Boil ability if you wanted to go down that route for fire until you get your Sunder. It does actually have physical damage as well as fire damage. So there is kind of like an interesting fire setup there where you could potentially use Blood Boil to bypass that. Or you could just simply have some Goatman and some mercenaries by your side to deal with the fire immunes. There's also that as well. All in all, I definitely think Apocalypse is going to be a fun ability. It's really nostalgic to see a Diablo 1 skill. In fact, all the Diablo 1 skills, the Immolation ability, the Flame Wave ability, and the Apocalypse ability all make it into Diablo 2. I think a lot of people are excited to see Diablo 1 abilities here. As always, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button if you are enjoying the content. And as always, keep watching. Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Skills and Abilities. Today we're going to be going over another one of the sigils. We've already covered the sigil of Lethargy, which I think is going to be really popular this season. The sigil of Rancor, which has kind of an odd effect of it. And then finally the sigil of Death. The sigil of Death is weird in my opinion. It's kind of like a corpse explosion, sort of. But not a corpse explosion. So let's go over really quickly like how Corpse Explosion works, and we're going to talk about like how this is different than Corpse Explosion and why. So Corpse Explosion, our generic Corpse Explosion on the Necromancer, which of course has a lot of love in the game because it's very powerful, requires a corpse to use the ability, explodes for 50% fizz, and then 50% fire. And that's pretty much it. It explodes when you use a corpse, and 50% fizz, 50% fire. It does a lot of damage. It does between 70 to 120% of the corpse's HP, which means that exploding a potentially very high HP corpse is a huge difference than exploding a low HP corpse, for instance, like a maggot or something. Now, this ability has 70 to 100% of slain enemies' health, but it's fire explosion damage, not physical in fire, which means that it's pure fire. Another problem with this ability is it doesn't actually consume any corpses to cause the explosion to happen. Instead, what it does is it waits for the monster to have less than 13% health before culling them. It would be much easier to call this a culling strike than it is anything else, because what it does is it waits for the monster to reach a specific HP threshold and then causes them to explode upon reaching that HP threshold. The problem is that if you outright kill a monster very quickly, then they don't explode because they never reach that HP threshold. In other words, if you attack a monster and the monster has, say, 100% health, and you deal 100% health and damage to that target, then the monster goes from 100% directly to 0, never reaching 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1%, which would trigger the sigil. In fact, in most cases, from what I've been able to see, the sigil doesn't actually activate when you have a very good setup. So if your damage is very high toward the end of the game, like for instance, once you start getting your really good gear, and once you start getting your really endgame weapons, and your skill points are all in place, and you have your torch and your Annie and all the other things, and you're just doing better as a character, I noticed that the sigil death does not go off very often at all. However, earlier on, when your character is kind of sucky and your damage isn't that great and you're having trouble killing things, it does seem to do very well. And so from one of the things that I've noticed with this ability is that it tends to work much better earlier on when you're struggling, and it tends to be very poor later on when you are doing very well. And I can give you some examples of this. So let's go ahead and grab like Apocalypse, for instance. And Apocalypse does some pretty crazy damage, right? It does 13,075 at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and use it on this group here. And as you can see, like, we did get some explosions, but for the most part, it was just Apocalypse killing them. And this has to do with the fact that, well, you know, if you're killing the monsters very quickly, like with Apocalypse, it does massive amounts of damage, then it's not going to trigger very much. It could potentially work better with damage over time abilities like Flame Wave. And you saw the explosions happen, right? Because if Flame Wave doesn't actively kill the monster outright, it does a large amount of damage over time on the ground as a result. So it does hit them with a hit, but then it also applies a dot underneath their feet, which can help reach that 13% threshold. And basically what I've been able to determine with this ability is that it's really good for leveling. Like if you are a character who is struggling as a starter, it's going to help you tremendously with clear speed on a lower level character that doesn't have good equipment. However, later on, when you have a character that has really good equipment and you're one-shotting and two-shotting things, it's going to be relatively useless because you're just not going to get that explosion actually happen on a regular basis. Another problem with the ability is, of course, is that it has to be the monsters that are standing within the circle, which makes it very difficult to one-point wonder the ability. So if you only have one base point and you don't have a lot of plus to skills, it has a very small radius and a very small duration, which isn't really the most amazing thing. If you have at least a decent amount of plus to skills, the duration is not bad. It has like around 24 seconds right now with a level 20 skill, so I have plus 19 skills. So if you do have a large amount of plus to skills, it can definitely be useful. But earlier on, you don't have a large amount of plus to skills, and so you find yourself casting it all the time just to get the effect on the monster, because of course it has to be on the ground and the monster has to be standing in it, which can sometimes be an issue if you're a caster because you're kiting a lot. It's a little bit of an odd ability. Do I think it has some potential? Yeah, it definitely has some potential, and I definitely think that there are going to be some characters that are going to utilize it. But being fire specifically, as opposed to fire and physical, like Corpse Explosion, which maybe it is fire and physical, who knows? Maybe there's like a behind the scenes there where it does something different than what it states. But being fire only, and then also like having trouble actually getting it to proc, the duration being a little bit low, the radius being a little bit low. Once you get some points into it, it can definitely be useful. I would totally use this with a dot build though. Like I think this would be absolutely amazing if you had like a poison build, fire damage over time, like maybe even the miasma damage over time would be interesting. Basically anything that's not going to outright kill the monster with a single stroke. This could definitely be very interesting because it could allow the ability to work properly. But abilities like Cleave, Mirrored Blades, Echoing Strike, Hexbane, even abilities like Apocalypse probably aren't going to allow the Sigil of Death to really kind of like work and do its magic. So far, I've been very impressed with the sigils. The Lethargy sigil is absolutely amazing, and it's going to be like a 1-point wonder on like every character, I think. The Rancor sigil definitely has some interesting connotations for beefing up your minions, mercenaries, and even maybe other people's mercenaries, which is kind of neat. And the Sigil of Death definitely has some good leveling potential. I do feel like as a leveler, as a like starter character, that Sigil of Death is going to be quite powerful. I just feel like it's going to fall off toward end game when you have your character fully established. So you play around with it to your leisure. Let me know what you guys think of the ability. I think that's pretty much it. I do believe there's a Sigil of Death proc on one of the new items. I can't remember which one it is. It's not Coven. Coven is Lethargy. And then the new Authority armor is one of the miasma chains. Can't remember right off the top of my head. Is it this one? Yeah, it's the Ritual Knife. 13% chance to cast level 1 Sigil of Death when struck, which is kind of interesting. I'm not really sure exactly how useful that would be, since it's only level 1 and has a relatively short duration. But it should potentially be up all the time, so I don't know. As always, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button if you enjoy the content. We're going to be moving on to the miasma skills next. And as always, keep watching. Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Rune Words. I can't remember if that's what I did last time I did this. It's been a while since I've made a rune word video. It's been quite a while, and we have 5 new rune words that have been added into the game. They did rename the hustle rune words, which are just hustle, like armor and hustle weapon. They renamed them to like mania and hysteria or something, but they're still the same rune words. I may or may not redo those videos just for fun, but like right now we're going to be going over the new rune words that they've added to the game. Now every class, because they added a new class, not sure if you guys knew that, they added the warlock class, which is actually really cool, and it's got a whole bunch of warlocky abilities like miasma and like fire rings and like butthole goat men that come out and like smack people in the butthole. But I mean, that's okay. And there's also a class armor for every single class. You know, there's Rain for the Druid, there's Principle for the Paladin, and like Myth for the Barbarian, which sucks, by the way. And, you know, like all the other, like, you know, class armors that give +2 skills. Well, this is the Warlock class armor, and it's called Authority. Authority is actually kind of cheap. It's Hell, Shale, Ral. Now, Hell and Shale is a little bit hard to come by early in the game, but usually by the time you get to Nightmare difficulty and you've cleared a little bit of Nightmare, you usually have found a Hell and a Shale rune by then. But early into normal difficulty, you're not going to be able to get a Hell and a Shale, most likely. If you find a Shale in normal difficulty, you're going to be pretty lucky. If you find a Hell and a Shale in normal difficulty, you're hacking. And then, like, yeah, whatever. It's kind of one of those armors, though, that's rather interesting. So let's go over the stats here. There are a couple websites that do have